Hello, this is Jennifer Tisdale-Morgan. Today I am presenting the Differential Diagnosis Project on Rabbit of the 100-Acre Wood. Rabbit is a single, cisgender, 20-year-old male rabbit. He is average height and weight. He seeks treatment for possible compulsive disorders that force him to constantly perform chores and tasks and other obligations that may not have to be fulfilled. Rabbit lives alone in the northeast corner of the 100-Acre Wood. It is unclear what type of home Rabbit lives in. He states his front door is a hole, which his friend Winnie the Pooh often gets stuck. The back entrance is a door at the base of a tree. Rabbit states he has not seen his family since he was a baby bunny. Rabbit has many animal friends he considers family, who also live in the 100-Acre Wood. The names of his friends are Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, who is also his best friend, Tigger, Eeyore, Roo, Kanga, Owl, and Gopher. Robert is also friends with a young boy named Christopher Robin. Roo is a young kangaroo who plays in a sand pit near Rabbit's home. Let's begin with the mental status examination. From watching several clips of Disney's Winnie the Pooh collection of movies and cartoons, he is a 20-year-old rabbit who presents his stated age. He states that he meticulously grooms and has appropriate hygiene, which is incongruent with his appearance. During each interaction, Rabbit appeared casual and disheveled, with his fur messy and frequent bags under his eyes. Motor activity is restless. He is frequently observed pacing. Rabbit's gait movement is smooth, but on his hind quarters, which is atypical for a rabbit species. His speech rate is pressured and tangible. Eye contact ranges from intense at times to avoidant depending on the focus of his attention. When he is focused on making and checking lists, he is avoidant. When he is engaged socially, his gaze is intense. Rabbit's behavior is hyperactive and agitated, though cooperative. His affect is animated and broad. Stated mood range is anxious and irritable to euphoric. Euphoric mood is only observed when he is bragging about or is pleased with himself. Mood and affect are congruent. Rabbit's thought content is primarily preoccupied with tasks and with themes of self-importance. Thought content is linear and organized. Rabbit is oriented ×4. Attention is hyper-focused. He is fixated on time and tasks to be done and who he thinks should be doing them. No evidence of memory impairment. No evidence of hallucination, derealization, or depersonalization. Denies SI, SA, HI. His insight is fair and judgment is good. Data was collected from various sources, including a preschool teacher, a 10-year-old child, a school therapist, and other characters which have had close contact with Rabbit. They describe him as follows: detail and task-oriented, perfectionist, anxious, limited interest of orderliness and cleaning, obsessed with preparedness, inflexibility, self-appointed leader and grandiose, obsessed with rules, irrational, stubborn, overreacts, and tediously works. Social interactions are described as having a disregard for friends, mean, and a strong emotional response to friends with opposite characteristics, and impatient with his friends. Rabbit has difficulty trusting and depending on others, likely stemming from his youth. It is unclear who raised Rabbit as a young bunny, as there is no mention of a birth family. According to Bowlby and Ainsworth's attachment theory, if a child's needs are consistently met by their caregivers, they will develop a stronger attachment to them. In turn, they will be more secure and better equipped to handle exploration. In contrast, children who have not had their needs met or have had them met inconsistently will feel less secure and have a harder time developing trusting relationships. This lack of self-regulation can have a negative impact on their development and ability to adjust to the world. I hypothesize Rabbit likely had an avoidant attachment style as a bunny stemming from unavailable or inconsistent parenting. Avoidant attachment in childhood can lead to higher likelihood of developing OCPD. Additionally, temperament and adverse childhood experiences are risk factors for OCD. Differential diagnosis. 20-year-old male rabbit referred by Christopher Robin to address friends' growing concerns of rigidity interfering with friendships. Rabbit is consumed by a fear of contamination and dirt. He feels the need to keep everything clean, orderly, and symmetrical. He is also obsessed with the fear of having enough food and theft of food from the garden. When he is not cleaning, he is planning, gardening, or bossing others around about cleaning, gardening, or other tasks. Rabbit makes lists to organize any and all things as well as all details about it. Rabbit's behaviors prevent enjoyment of activities and often delays the enjoyment of activities of others. He is rigid and stubborn and insists on tasks being completed exactly to his high standards. Impaired social functioning is evidenced by time spent on tidying and orderliness interfering with social commitments. There is no clinical evidence of SUD or other mental health disorders. Based on available evidence, the patient likely has obsessive-compulsive disorder with poor insight. He likely believes his OCD beliefs are true. Based on available evidence, patient likely also has obsessive-compulsive personality disorder. Rabbit clearly meets the criteria for both conditions in the DSM-5. Treatment recommendations. Rabbit has a conditioned belief that he cannot rely on anyone but himself. A treatment plan for Rabbit should focus on helping Rabbit develop flexibility in his thinking. A strength which could be monetized is his friendships. I recommend using cognitive behavioral therapy and family therapy. Although he experienced trauma of not having a reliable caregiver as a child, family therapy with his friends at the 100-Acre Wood can help show him that they have always been there for him. Their presence challenges his underlying belief that he can only rely on himself. They are also a source of support in case a crop of food disappears. They can show that there's still plenty of food to share. There are 4 beneficial steps to CBT to help identify maladaptive cycle and areas to evoke change. The first step is identifying triggers. The second is the thoughts that follow the triggers. The third are the feelings, physical and emotional. And the fourth is the behavior itself. I would utilize some of the CBT worksheets from therapistaid.com to give Rabbit a tangible tool to work with. Given Rabbit's affection for lists, there's a high probability he will use the worksheets. That concludes the differential diagnosis presentation of Rabbit from the 100-Acre Wood.